Hello and welcome back. This video is a fifth grade math video where we're going to be talking about how to write powers of 10. Okay, so let's first talk about what a power is. A power in math is the same as an exponent. So you may have heard those two terms and they're kind of mean the same thing. What it is it's a different way for us to write a multiplication expression. So for example, let's say we're going to multiply three numbers together, and those three numbers are going to be the same number. Let's pick 4. 4 times 4 times 4. So we have a shortcut for writing this that uses something called an exponent or a power. An exponent is a regular sized number with a smaller number up in the top right corner next to the number. The regular sized number is what we call the base. And that is the number we are multiplying. So in this expression above, we are multiplying the number 4. So we're going to make that the base of the exponent. The little number here is called the exponential number. This is how many times you're going to multiply the base. In this case, we are multiplying the number 4 1, 2, 3 times. So this number, the exponential number, is a 3. So this is 4 to the power of 3. So that's where the power comes in. Okay, so that's what we're kind of talking about today. We're kind of introducing you to exponents and how they're written. So when we're talking about powers of 10, we're also talking about exponents, but the base is going to be 10. So let's say I'm going to multiply something this many times. For it to be a power of 10, that means the base needs to be 10. So this is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So that means the regular size number is 10. That's the base. And the number of times we're multiplying that is 4 times. So this is 10 to the power of 4. So this is a power of 10. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. We're going to be doing examples where we are writing powers of 10 and going back and forth between the expression and the power. So here's our first one we're going to go through together. Which of the following is equivalent or equal to 10 to the third power or 10 to the power of 3? So as we talked about, the regular size number is the base, and the smaller number up in that right corner is the exponential number. The exponential number up here tells us how many times we are multiplying or how many numbers we are multiplying. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 lines because it's to the third power, which means we're going to be multiplying the base 3 times. Now the base is the regular size number. So that means that's going to be 10 times 10 times 10. So that's the expression that shows what 10 to the third power represents. So out of the 4 choices on the left, this is the one that matches the expression I came up with. So this is the one that would be equivalent to 10 to the third power. Here's our next example. Which of the following is equivalent to 10 times 10 times 10 times 10? So like we talked about, expressions or where we're multiplication expressions where we're multiplying the same number can be written as exponents or powers. So what we noticed here is that the base is the number that we are multiplying. So the regular size number in the exponent or the base is 10. That's the number that's getting multiplied. The smaller number up in the corner is how many times it's being multiplied. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be 10 to the fourth power. So out of the choices on my left, this is the one that says 10 to the fourth power and is equivalent to the expression. Okay, here's our next one. Which of the following is equivalent to 10 to the second power? Okay, so 10 is the base, which means that's the number we're multiplying, and 2 is the exponential number, which means that's how many times we're multiplying it. So since that smaller number is a 2, I'm multiplying the same number 2 times, and that number is the base, which is 10. So 10 to the second power is the same as 10 times 10. And that is represented by this choice on the left right here. So this is the expression that would be equivalent to 10 to the second power. Okay, here is our next one. We have 10 to the seventh power, and we have to figure out which of those two choices it is equivalent to. So as we talked about, the little exponential number represents how many times you're multiplying the base. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we can put x's for times in between. And remember, these powers and exponents only relate to multiplication expressions, not adding, not subtracting, and not dividing. Okay, now 10 is the base, so that is the number that's being multiplied. So I could put 10 in each of these blank spaces to rewrite the expression. And you can see by looking at it that this second choice is the one that matches or is equivalent to 10 to the 7th power. Okay, here is our last example for today's video. Which of the following is equivalent to just 10? Okay, so if you get a base and there is no exponential number, that there is an imaginary little 1 up there, 10 to the 1st power. Also, if we just have 10, we're not multiplying it by anything, but there is one base present. So that means that would be 10 to the power of 1. So any base to the power of 1 just equals that number, no matter what the number would be. In this case, it was 10, but if it was 5 to the 1st power, that would be 5. If it was 12 to the 1st power, that would be 12. If it was a mystery number like x to the 1st power, that would be equal to x. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you in our next video.